but everything takes time. Even fun fact in chiropractic care, we have these principles, and the sixth principle is time. Everything takes time. And that's my favorite
Yeah.
because it's just so right in every aspect. Like we didn't there's those people that are gifted that can have natural talent, but they still takes time for them to develop those talents to perfect, if ever perfect. I don't really like to say perfect because it you really I just want people to keep learning and keep growing. So when you think that you perfected something, then you become complacent and then you start to lose what you got. But welcome to the Life Well Lived, Paving Your Own Way to Growth podcast. I'm your host, Justin Harris.
And I am your host, Gina Torres. And happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
It's been a while, Justin. We we've been a little MIA, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Am I
spitting
am I
bars already.
Yeah.
Spitting bars already on this
We coming
lovely
back hot.
morning, aren't we?
Red hot fire already.
Yeah, actually, if you guys didn't know, I started a rap career in our little time off.
Yep.
So
Yep. Go ahead and check it out.
actually, actually, I'm going to put a PSA out there because I've been really wanting to do this. I know this is, again, like super random, but this is how we're flowing today.
Yeah.
I have been wanting to try to make music for the longest time.
Oh.
Not me sing. I can't sing for
Oh,
for
okay.
for for you know what, but I love to write. And I feel like if I could find a
Ooh.
bomb-ass vocalist that could sing my songs, like I
Hmm.
need a soul person though. Like I need someone with some soul in their voice.
Okay.
Um, and I need someone who is willing to willing to obviously work with me. But I can write. I can
Interesting.
write, but I cannot sing. So
Okay.
I would love to write for somebody and have them sing it and bring it to life.
That's amazing for one. And so you're looking for somebody that's like that's got a soul type voice.
Yeah.
Um,
I need someone with like some grit, some soul, some like they can like make it their own. I just don't want someone who can sing. I need someone with like some actual like they'll bring it to life.
that's pretty.
I can't have nobody flat singing my songs
Yeah,
now, Justin.
yeah, yeah. They need some
Because they
stolen rhythm there.
right, right. So I just want to put that PSA out there on a lovely Monday morning here for everybody. And
That's awesome. PSA, the only thing new, I just picked up a new book. That's all I got.
oh, that was just one of my PSAs. I got a lot of them,
Yeah,
but
no.
yeah, if you know anybody,
Oh,
because I recently started listening to an artist. Her name is Cokes Marie, and she sings a lot of affirmation. Like she's an affirmation songwriter.
really?
Yeah. And actually, I would love to share like the song
Yeah.
if it's okay with you,
Yeah,
Justin.
let's do it. Because that's
Because I gotta show you what I'm talking about here. Like it's
Marie.
not just like someone shit, I might even reach out to her.
Oh,
Can I
oh,
share my screen here?
yeah, let's do it.
I don't know if I can. Oh, I guess it doesn't really matter. I don't need to share my screen because it's not a video. But
Oh,
all right, let me know when you're ready.
I'm
I want I want your honest feedback on something like this.
okay.
But I've recently got into affirmation songwriting and I didn't even know it was a thing.
Me neither. And that piqued my interest. As soon as you said it, I was like, wait a minute.
This
This,
would be really great for your coaching or your life coaching program too.
this is
But
right
let's
up my
let's
alley.
listen to this and let me know your thoughts.
Yeah.
Let me know if it's too loud.
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
No. Oh, there it goes. Turn it up a little bit if you can.
Can you hear that?
No, is it blasted in your house? We can't. I
Huh?
can't hear it.
You can't? Okay.
No,
Can I share my screen?
I think so. Yeah.
Desk view. I wonder because I wonder if I do the desk view, if it'll. Where did I go? Am I here? Can you see me?
Just a black screen. Listen, we
What
fix things
the
on the fly, guys. On the fly.
heck? Wait,
Yeah,
what
you're
is
gone.
going on? Wait a minute. What do I, how do I share?
Check advanced options. All participants. Just making sure everybody can share here. Okay. Oh, you're back.
Hmm. Request? Oh no, that's not it. Okay, here we go. I think I share screen. All right. Can
Okay.
you see it now?
Yes, I see a lot.
Okay, I'm gonna play the commercial again and see if you can see it. You can see my screen?
Yeah.
Can you hear that?
Um, hit play again. No, you can't.
What?
Why not?
This is blasphemy.
What? There's gotta be a way to there's gotta be a way.
Hmm.
Would it be in I don't know.
Damn it.
Hmm.
That's so weird that it won't let you.
At the yeah. Let me see. Audio settings. Um, because maybe in the settings I can set it up to where share screen.
Do you think do you think maybe you can do it on your end since you're the host or
Let's try. Okay. If you want to send it to me real quick.
yeah, I'll send it in the chat.
Let's get some stuff off my back. Secondly, my computer updated this morning, okay?
Wait, I don't have the chat button. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Mine was just tweaking out.
So
So,
I I updated my whoa. Did you hear that?
yeah, what was that?
That was the start of the video. As is well. Oh, I mean as is well. I can't even say it. All is well.
Yeah. I heard like a thump, that's it.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Let me see here. Okay, so I'm getting ready to play it and see if we need.
Are you playing it?
Yeah, I was. Could you not hear it?
No.
Son of a gun.
Maybe it's because it's taking away the outside noise and it's just kind of trying to focus on our voices. Is there a way that we can
Something just popped up on the Zoom and said it mentioned something here. Place uh um my brain just went too fast to remember what it said and then to try to read it. Um
Damn, I really
okay.
wish.
I'm going to okay. Okay.
What?
I
You
think I
figure something out?
maybe. Ready here.
All right.
Did you hear it? I'm playing it.
Mm-mm. No.
It's gonna let it stop. Still not hearing it?
No, I think it's it's probably because the noise reduction.
Yeah, and uh, oh man,
That would have been a banger.
what would have been? Well, something we'll now be working on. Spatial audio voices. Oh, 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 oh. Oh.
Do you get it?
No,
I wonder if I do you think you'd be able to hear it if I put it on my iPad and I like shared it through the no through the my side?
probably. You
Let me
probably,
try that.
yeah.
I really want to get this to work because I think that people will like it. Please hold.
Zoom optimize audio. It just brought something up on the screen saying that I can. I need to set the settings, so I need to figure that out.
Yeah, because there should be a way that you can share your screen. Can you wait, try sharing your screen.
Oh, duh, I didn't even do that yet.
But you said it didn't work when you saw mine, right?
No,
Huh. Maybe, I don't know, maybe because you're the host or something, but if not, I'll put it on my iPad
yeah,
and then I can see if you can hear it here.
okay. Let's see if we can. Oh,
No.
that would be a banger too,
Damn.
because I'm jamming to it. Like, oh my
All
goodness.
right. All right, we're gonna put it we're gonna put it on the iPad and do it this way. And let's hopefully the sound comes out.
Yeah.
Sorry for the technical difficulties. We are doing this on a whim, as always, not scripted. So,
And then the
all
type
right.
of people we are, I gotta know how to do this now. So we will figure.
Now we're gonna be figuring this is the episode. Actually, we're figuring out how to share
walk,
on.
walk through our guide on how to non-gracefully learn.
All right, I'm about to play it. You ready?
Yeah.
Let me know if you can hear it. Cue music. Can you hear it?
Please.
To Disney Plus. Like good? Now bundle subscribers can watch
Yeah.
select Hulu and ESPN Plus favorites on Disney
Yeah, I
Plus.
hear it really well.
All right, this holiday season. It's good?
I think so.
Okay. Okay, perfect. See where the speaker is. There's something. Sorry, we had to on Disney get the ad real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it, I didn't skip
Uh,
the ad. So now it gives me another ad. Damn it. You hear it?
yeah. Is it? Can you turn it up a little bit more?
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
The speakers are like on each side of the iPad, so
Oh yeah.
I feel the spark in the sky. I fly with the butterfly.
Mm.
I feel the earth beneath my eyes. My ass is one with the ground. See, she said my ass is one with the grass, but she says it in such a
Yeah.
soulful tone that you would never even think twice
No.
about that shit. You'd be
No.
like, yeah, my
You'd be
fucking,
figuring
oh, sorry, my ass is in that grass.
it.
And I ain't even thinking twice about it. So when I talk about someone with like soul to their
Yeah.
voice and someone who's making it like their own, I need someone like her.
Mm. With that raspy type voice.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. Yes.
Mm.
I don't know if you want me to share any more of it, but that's kind of the
Yeah.
gist of it.
That's good.
I'll link that as well.
Yeah.
But
We'll link that so everybody can go back and take a listen and get an understanding of what it is.
but
Coach.
it was worth the wait, y'all. It was worth the wait. I'm
That
telling
was
you.
that was just some
Yes.
soulful stuff. Um,
Yes. She said my ass is one with the grass. And once I heard that, I was like, all right, I don't know who this chick is, but I'm hooked. She got me. It's a wrap. And it's like, because I didn't think twice about that. I was like, all right. And you can envision. She's like, I'm in a field, like I'm out
yeah,
meditating. Like
yeah.
I'm sitting in the grass, I'm meditating. Like you're one with the earth. This shit is deep, man.
Big.
So
Oh man.
so when I found out that there was such thing as affirmation music, I was like, hmm. So I started looking into it. And I was like, well, shit, my poems are pretty much like the same. And I
Yeah,
was like, I want to try. I want to try to find an artist, a vocalist who can sing my song and bring them to life.
yeah. Affirmation music. That is very interesting.
Because
That's a,
it's not like the traditional like, all right, I'm gonna manifest, this little like happy, whatever. It's actually music that you can listen to,
Mhm.
enjoy, and it puts you at a higher frequency
Yeah,
and vibration as you're listening to it.
yeah. It puts you at ease. Like that's the one thing. The first thing I noticed was obviously the beat because that's what
Hmm.
starts, and I was just like, "Ooh, this is just already soothing," you know. And the reason I was looking down because in my head I was thinking, I was like, I almost wonder if they use certain frequencies in the beats to also put you at ease, which would be a really cool idea to go
Yep.
with that affirmation music. I'm just saying, I'm not a producer or nothing, but
Well, a lot of our music right now is very low frequency, low vibration. And that's what they like the music industry, a lot of it is very low vibrating energy. So it doesn't heal, it doesn't do what music is supposed to
right,
do for us.
right,
And obviously like, each thing is it gets you in a different headspace, right? If you're heavy metal, you're at the gym, you're like pumping weights,
yeah,
right? You want a heavy weight there and you just want to smash, right? If you're listening to softer music, maybe you want to dance, maybe you want to whatever. So, music is meant to heal in different ways and help us
mhm,
do certain things. But a lot of the music that we have out here is just about, F you
yeah,
get money,
yeah,
I'm gonna do this. And it's like that has such a low frequency. I don't know how you can measure it. I'm not that far into it. I just know about it, but you can measure the frequencies of the music. So you can see what's a higher vibrating versus a lower. And a lot of the stuff that we have today is very low frequency.
which is
Same stuff that's same as in our food. All the processed food that we eat
yep.
has a very low vibrating frequency, which means we put it in our body, our bodies are then going to also be lower vibrating.
I never even thought about it in that aspect.
Yeah. When you get down to the way that I think, which is a very energetic level,
Yeah,
like we are all the very basic of everything, right, is energy. So
yeah. Oh shoot,
if I'm
yeah,
going to hear things, see things, ingest things, listen to music, and it's all low vibrating, what do you think is going to happen? I'm going to get sick. I'm going to be miserable. I'm going to,
yeah,
feel like I'm stuck. All these things that get you in that box mindset.
yeah,
But when you start listening to things like this and eating fresh foods and whole foods and vegetables and things that aren't processed, you become a different person. And
yeah,
essentially, that's kind of been my journey. And that's why I can really speak to it because I've been through it.
yeah. No, absolutely. It's a good point, especially nutritionally. And I'm not saying I'm the best at nutritional stuff at the moment, but I do have a good knowledge of what's good for you, though.
Hmm. Yeah, and
Again,
everybody's on their own journey too.
yeah,
Like, so it
exactly.
doesn't mean, like, even though I eat super healthy, it doesn't look necessarily right now like I am the most because a lot of that stuff from childhood has now caught up with me. A lot of the processed stuff that I've eaten and has disrupted my hormones in a way where it's going to take a couple years for me to reset and rebalance.
Absolutely.
So, but the most important thing is that you start and you do your research and
Mhm.
we are all on our own healing and learning journeys. So no matter where you are, just if you want to do better and that's your goal, start researching, start doing little things that can make that happen.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that starts now. I mean, you can do that now. Yes, we just said that it could take some time, but everything takes time. Even a fun fact in chiropractic care. we have what's called we have these principles, and the sixth the sixth principle is time. Everything takes time. And that's my favorite
Yeah.
because it's just so right in every aspect. Like we didn't there's those people that are gifted that can have natural talent, but they still takes time for them to develop those talents to perfect, if ever perfect. I don't really like to say perfect because you really I just want people to keep learning and keep growing. So when you think that you perfected something, then you become complacent and then you start to lose what you got. But that's a whole nother story. Um,
Yeah, and we can always learn, right? I
yeah,
mean, that's the beauty of being in this life right here and now, is you can always learn something.
exactly.
And it's never too late to do anything. Even though
Oh
people
no.
say, "Oh, well, I'm too old to do this. I'm too whatever."
No.
That does not matter. Time is literally it's a hoax. I
Really.
know that we have time, a certain amount of time on this earth, but if you think about it, time is infinite, okay?
Yeah.
So if you want to do something, go and do it. You are here in now. You are here now in the present moment.
Hmm.
Take it for what that is. Smile at the clock when you see that time is still ticking for you and do whatever the hell it is that you
Hmm.
want to do.
Absolutely.
That's that's
I
my version.
I just saw it was a couple of weeks ago. I saw he was like 81, just graduated college, just got his degree, and his mother, who was 90, 97, 98, was right in the crowd cheering him on. It is
Oh.
not too late. Not ever. Not ever.
Yeah, and also with that being said, like do things that you want to do. I feel like a lot of society has different pressures on us for what you
Yeah.
have to do. Graduate, go to college, then
Mhm.
you get a job that you stay at for 20 years. Everything is changing. I don't know what's coming, but like our entire world has been shifting and like different mindsets have been coming. I mean, especially since COVID, there's a lot of mindset changes, big
Mhm.
disruptions in the way that our parents used to do things. So, just in general, you are on your own journey. If you want to do something that makes you feel good, you want to do something that interests you. Last night I thought about going back to get a herbalism degree.
Yeah.
I probably will never do that because I will never waste money on college again,
Yeah.
but I do want to get a certification of and learn how to be an herbalist.
Hmm.
That is something, again, I've gone from law enforcement to financial advisor to business owner to now getting in this space where I'm propagating and being able to use herbs as medicine and use food as medicine. So, like, that's not a traditional path for anybody. If you look at the history of, our parents and a few years down the road of society, so
Mm-mm.
just do wherever your heart literally is telling you. And to do that, you need to really understand yourself.
Yes.
So everything bare basic starts with knowing you, knowing who you are, what you want, what your energy currently is, what a good
Hmm.
energy is for you, what a bad energy is for you. And and just do whatever it is that you want.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's part of the reason why I love they're not necessarily self-help books, but I love almost psychology books of learning people. And it's not to learn people, but it's more to learn like myself and how to adapt around certain people.
Yeah.
Because like and kind of just going into what we one of the topics we wanted to hit on today is um trying to find and do things for certain people, especially around the holidays when we are, on our own. Just understanding how they work, how other people work to best adapt to them. And I don't know if that's more of a service mindset so that I can try to help them and make their life better because I feel like I'm intruding. Do you know what I mean? If it's not with family, I should say. But if, for example, I'm invited to a friend's house for Thanksgiving or whatever the case is because I'm not with my family,
Hmm.
I will literally sit down. I'll be there. We'll be having a good time. Everybody's laughing. But something in my head will just sit me down and say, they're having such a good time. Am I intruding on their own personal family time? And then it makes me upset because I'm like, I hope I'm not, I hope I'm not like affecting them. Would they have more fun if I wasn't here just being with family? And then I also think about it in a sense of like, man, I wish I could be home enjoying this type of time with my family as well. So I think about it in a couple different ways, and that's why I try to read those type of psychology books to really understand how people think and to really give myself a peace of mind so that I don't get into those type of tendencies as well.
So are you saying that you think that now, like you thought that at Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I thought that at Thanksgiving. I honestly thought that at Christmas. I It's something that I actually that's been one of my biggest struggles over the past couple years because I haven't been able to go home for probably 3 or 4 years for
Hmm.
Christmas, and then it's been I don't I can't even remember the last time I was home for Thanksgiving. I think honestly back in college, like
But you said that you thought you were kind of putting yourself as like, are they having, like a lesser good time because I'm here? Like the friends that you're around. Is that what you said?
yes, to an extent, like it doesn't look like they're having a worse time, but it's my mind thinking, would they have a better time if it
Okay.
was just their family, you know?
Gotcha.
Um,
I'm gonna encourage you to do some shadow work because that
yeah.
is definitely I feel like that's a self-damaging thought because you're kind of
Oh yeah.
you're lessening yourself and you're saying because I'm here, people cannot have a good time around
Yeah.
me or they can't have the best time that they can because I'm here.
Hmm. I didn't even, oh yeah, I didn't look at it that way.
Yeah, because
Oh
you're
yeah.
you're literally like that's a form of not degrading yourself, but I guess yeah, like really, because you're thinking I'm the reason why these people can't have my friends can't have a
Hmm.
good time because I'm intruding on them,
Yeah.
rather than being like I'm here and I make this space, and I'm contributing to this space. You're
Hmm.
feeling like because you're there, you're taking away from it.
Yeah.
So I would just like encourage you to kind of see where that stems from. And I feel like it stems from a place where you are missing your family in that regard. And it's
Yeah.
kind of like, or maybe something again from childhood, because I feel
Hmm.
like a lot of things stem from childhood. I don't know if there was a time when you were younger where you were somewhere and you felt that way and it's kind of followed you, but it's it's definitely you're definitely like degrading yourself in that
Yeah.
environment, thinking
Yeah.
that way.
And I try to get out of it because I take those thoughts in conjunction of missing family. So I have those
Hmm.
thoughts all at the same time. Like it'll usually start with I'll see everybody happy, laughing, and I'll be like, man, this would be nice if I was around
Yeah.
my family. And then I'd be like, oh man, like would these would they are they okay that I'm here when it's such an intimate family time? Like this is their Christmas time, this is their Thanksgiving time. I know I would love to be with my family right now. I wonder if they wish they were just with their family kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it definitely does some from a place of you're missing and like that FOMO, like I was talking about earlier, and we haven't been around our families, especially, I haven't been with mine for this year either, and I definitely regretted it.
Yeah.
And so maybe it's just kind of coming from a place of I'm missing, and then you kind of get in those feelings and then you're
Hmm.
like, well, man, I don't know if they want me here. And so just kind of like do a little bit of digging in on that. But I would definitely say if you're in that space, take up the space and be
Yeah.
there and be present. And
Oh yeah.
if they didn't want you there, then they would have never invited you.
No, and that's a perfect way to put it. Like it's very humble. It's funny, those thoughts usually happen obviously before the end of the night. And then when the end
Mhm.
of the night comes and I'm leaving, everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much for coming. It was such a great time." And then I honestly like in that moment forget about those thoughts. I'm just like, "Yeah, it was. Thank you for having me." And it's like,
Yeah.
if that's the case, why did I even have that thought? If at the end we all know that we had a great time and it was great to be there. So it's one of those things that just I don't want to say it's been a habit. Well, I guess it's been a habit for every holiday just because it's been so long that
Hmm.
that I get that thought random. It'll just pop into my head. that I'll just be like, oh my gosh, what the heck am I doing here? Why? You know, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
It just happened.
It's probably because it's different than
Hmm.
what you're used to celebrating. And
Yeah.
it sounds like a little bit of imposter syndrome, if
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
A lot of my clients come to me too. And I mean, I even have it. I've had it too before. I try to always take up space and always to be on the flip side, but it happens.
Yeah.
Why are you here? Oh
Yeah.
shit, why am I here? Like you get that little
Yeah.
voice that says, "Why are you even doing this?" You're like,
Literally.
"Oh damn, why am I doing this? I
Hmm.
forget. How
Exactly.
did I get here?"
Yeah.
But to me, that's really what it sounds like
Hmm.
is you're taking from a place of like you miss your family
Yeah.
and it's not the same. It's not like it has been,
Yeah.
right? So,
No, and you take things for granted. I remember, like I said, Thanksgiving, I do not remember the last time I celebrated Thanksgiving with the family, like all of us together. But Christmas is something that's been new. I've usually always been able to go home for Christmas, like until the past couple of years, until I started working for where I am, just because now I can't get the time
mhm.
off, and that's pretty tough. And I can't say that not every holiday with family is going to be all the bells. Like it's not going to be the most wonderful time ever. You still have those little arguments, or one of your brothers or something did something. You're just like this, like why, you know? But I think that's what makes it your family, and those little
Yeah.
things I miss, you know. And it's like even you just take things for granted once you don't have it, or once you don't have it for too long. Like I started thinking, like, man, what it would be like to just go back and sit down and listen to my brothers argue. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like watch them
You really
wrestle around.
do.
It really it's just interesting how that works, and I think that's why I read a lot of those like mental type, like understanding people books, because to really try to understand myself and then try to understand how other people feel in a sense of
Mhm.
that, because there's nothing that would tell me that these people don't want me there, nothing at all.
Right.
It just brain goes there. So
So again, when you're reading these books, I would also, if there's a way that you can take from the book and also do some shadow work within yourself
yeah.
too, to really find out like why am I feeling like this?
Yeah.
Because a lot of what we perceive in well, everything we perceive in the world is a reflection of what's going on
Hmm.
inside, right?
Hmm.
So if we're going over to a friend's house and we say that, oh man, they don't want us here, even though there's been no inkling of it,
Yeah.
like no one said anything, that's us being like damaging to us
Yeah.
internally.
Hmm.
That's us being like fight or flight mode. Oh
Yeah.
shit. Like, do they want me here? Do they not? And
Exactly.
so we have to get to the root of that problem and find out why are we thinking that?
Hmm.
Was I rejected by somebody? Did it follow me? Do I miss my family? Like, why is it coming up in that way? And because that's how the imposter syndrome really starts and that's how it gets going
Hmm.
is you have that one thought and then you say, "Oh, well, I don't know if I'm a good chiropractor and I don't know if
Yeah.
I can get, I don't know what my clients are thinking and I
Hmm.
don't know what like so it kind of trickles down in that way when the root of the problem could have been simply just because you miss your family and you
Yeah.
want to go back to your family.
Yeah.
So finding out just what root causes are. And the way that we do that is kind of taking that thought and then thinking why. So I think my friends are they don't want me here. Okay, why do I think that? Okay, because I'm intruding on their Christmas. Okay, well, why? Well, because I'm not going home for Christmas. Well, why? Because my job is keeping me from going home. And like kind of taking it and going back
Keep
until you
breaking
can
it
get to
down.
that very
Yeah.
reason why that, is it and it could have been because like I don't know, because my dog is whatever. Like, but because it shows up in different ways when we
Yeah.
think about these thoughts. So taking it from what the thought is and really going back to, okay, well, why? All right, well, bring it back another step. Well,
Yeah.
why? Okay, bring it back another step
Yeah.
until you finally get to the point where you cannot go back and find another why.
Yeah.
That is the root cause.
Exactly. Exactly. That's kind of like into the life coaching realm, everything I've been learning, especially with like creating goals. It's like they talk about what's your goal? I want to get a house. And it's like, okay, like that's such a big, let's break it down. Why do you want a house? And then you just we call it like the steps of a ladder, the rungs
Yeah.
of each ladder. So you gotta be at the bottom of the ladder first so that you can climb to the top of the goal. And it sounds like essentially doing that, except you're almost reflecting on what's going on, why this one thought or action or whatever the case is is happening.
Yeah, think of in that ladder analogy, think of that thought being the top of
Yeah.
the ladder, and you have
Yeah.
to go down each step in order to think of the why until you get to the root of the problem, right? Ground level root.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
I'd just be spitting.
You just be spitting. We said from the beginning. Shoot.
But yeah, that's my thought. And it happens so much. I mean, I think I cried because I broke a plate the other day, and I I get like I think if there was like a plate that fell in the dish in the sink or whatever, and I like started crying. And for me, that was just like the entire day had been so emotional, and I didn't even pick up on it.
Yeah.
And I saw the plate break, and like I just immediately thought like this is mentally what's happening to me right now.
Mhm. Oh,
And like so I needed that cry in order to kind of let go of some things. And it
mhm.
was the same reason I wasn't around my family
Yeah.
for the holidays either. It was very different this year, being in Florida for the first time ever. And I feel like I've been seeing that a lot of people are posting Christmas was different this year, like in that exact.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of people are going through a lot of different things. There's a lot of things happening in the world right now. There's a lot of
Mhm.
things happening in our jobs, in our
Yeah.
bodies, in politics, like you name it. There's a shitstorm everywhere.
Hmm.
So we're going to feel and and a lot of the reason why we feel this around the holidays is a combination of everything, right? We're getting ready to enter a new year.
Yeah.
We're getting ready, especially this year, to enter a new with a new president. We're getting ready to enter, new things for ourselves, new ways that the universe is going to work, new
Yep.
ways that like people, like everything is operating.
Yeah.
So we have to take that energy and that mindset as we're going through the holidays and it's a time to really break a lot of that stuff down. What are we getting rid of in 2024? What am I not taking with me? How do I feel when I'm around these people?
Yeah.
Because you have the classic like example of, oh man, when this aunt comes to town, I can't stand when she's asked me why I'm single,
Yeah.
why I'm fat, why I'm
Yeah.
ugly, why I'm this, why I'm that. That is a person you do not want to be around, even
Yeah.
though it's you have to be around them for that holiday, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's the time to set your boundaries.
Hmm.
So like all these things that happen and all these things that occur in our lives, like that's up to us to figure out how we deal with them because
Yeah.
people aren't going to change.
Mm-mm.
We have to change ourselves. So
Yeah.
if you're going to let Aunt Frida get to you, then
Oh,
Aunt
wait.
Frida's always going to get to you. And if you're already thinking before you even get to dinner that she's going to say something that's going to rile you up, well, then damn sure you know it's going to happen.
And then at that point, you're just looking for it. So any small thing that they say, you're just going to be like, I told you. I knew you were going to say
There it
that.
is.
And they're like, I just asked you to pass the corn. I just wanted, you know what I mean? Like,
But it's the way you asked me to pass
yeah,
that corn.
all condescending. Give me the corn. You know,
Yep,
like,
yep.
they're just,
That is the way that it happens.
yeah,
And when it's internally, it's something that we have to like, why are you so mad when she talks to you like that? Oh,
yeah,
well, because she's da da da. Very much of that could be true,
hmm,
but it's up to us to let things like that get to us.
yeah. Exactly. There is a saying. It's like there's only two things. Well, there's only two things that we can't control, and that's something like the weather and then like other people's decisions. So
Yeah.
like we have to be able to adapt well to other people's decisions. We have to be able to only rely on our own decisions and how we react. So if Aunt Frida is,
I
uh,
love how we just made up an aunt.
yeah, she's gonna be a reoccurring character at this point.
I don't even know why that came to my mind. I was just
Yeah.
like, all right, it's Aunt Frida at this point, you
Yeah.
know?
Sorry to all the Aunt Fridas out there, but you
Yeah.
are now part of the Life Well Lived podcast. Uh,
Oh man.
that's funny. So like if she does something that you don't like or that you perceive to be affecting you in a negative way, like how are you going to react? Are you going to react with kindness? Are you going to react with malice? Are you going to react just angry? And then that's going to then turn into how is she going to react from that? Because what if
Hmm.
she was just doing something she didn't even know she was doing? You react angry. So when somebody's angry with you, the natural reaction is like, "What the hell? What do you mean?" And then
Yep.
and then it's just going to go back and forth. It's not going to help anything.
Again, everything on this outside external world is a reflection of you internally.
Mhm.
So if you're going to let no matter what it is get to you, some people are just jerks, okay, right? But still,
Yeah.
we can navigate that.
Hmm.
And everybody's not going to be a jerk, but there's everything that is happening on this external world, whether you see it to be beautiful, whether you see it to be destructive, whether you see humans to be beautiful, whether you see them to be disruptive, it's all a reflection of what your thoughts are and what's going
Yeah.
on inside.
Yeah. And I have a quick. I don't even know if it's a side note, but it's somebody was rude to me the other day. Okay.
Oh man.
And it wasn't, and it was a child. Let me just put it that way. Okay. And they're children, but we're talking about reflection. I think it reflects back on the parent. So in my head, I'm like, you better go get your father. You better go get your father who was teaching you to be disrespectful like this at 7, 8, 9 years old, even 13, 14, 15, because of the reflection of, because that tells me a lot. If you're going out, obviously, sometimes the parent might not know, but they had to have learned this behavior from somewhere
Hmm.
is my thought. And it's like, if it's not being corrected, and I'm not telling people how to parent, that's not what I'm here to do. But damn,
Yeah.
that's all I'm going to say. Because,
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, so it might not be the parent, but they could be watching something. But either way, still, it's like if that's like you bring a child, that's your responsibility to teach them how to be a good human
yeah.
and to have respect and things like that. I mean,
Mhm.
that's I have a funny story too. It's not about me, but one of my best friends is a therapist, and she decided to play therapist with her patient, not patient. Is it a patient? Are they called patients or
Yeah.
clients? Clients.
Clients.
Who's a 9-year-old girl.
Oh,
And
oh,
she was like, okay, today we're gonna you're gonna be the therapist, okay? And I'm gonna be I'm gonna be the oh my God, I don't know why I can't the client.
yeah.
Um, actually, let me bring this up real quick because it's hilarious. Okay, never mind, I can't. But I was trying to log into Facebook, but she basically said, um, she was saying some like rotten things, and then my friend who's a therapist, she was like, I know you are, but what am I? And then the girl goes, well, a run on the treadmill or something like that, or saying that she needed to run on the treadmill or something. I was like, I commented on her post and I was like, tell her I want to see her mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, I wish I could find it, but it's Facebook was trying to make me log in and I don't have my password right now. But
Oh man, that's
it was like, yeah, it was a 9-year-old. And I'm like, what do you do? What do you do if a 9-year-old kid is calling you fat and like is just being outright disrespectful?
yeah, and yeah.
I
First of
mean, hey, again, look at it, right? Like it's a 9-year-old. She's probably been through some shit. She
yeah.
says what's on her mind. She probably hasn't been correct. I think from what I heard, she lives with grandma. So I don't know what's going on, but she's probably been through some shit, right? And that's probably what she heard, what she's heard.
Yeah.
So she is saying this stuff that we know is wrong, right? You and
Hmm.
I, because we're healed. We know society, like that. We know the norms that we're supposed to be in. We know what we can say and can't say. Like she is going out into the world and she's saying this, it's a reflection of what's going on inside her. She's probably got a lot of hurt. She's got a lot of damage done. She's
Yeah,
going through a lot of stuff, but she doesn't know it's wrong yet.
exactly.
She hasn't probably been in that position to know that this is wrong. We don't say that. So it's like you also have to think of that perspective too when you're talking about people who say things or kids who say things and things like
Right.
that is that again, we're all on our on our own journeys,
Yep.
but that
Absolutely.
person is on they're at a different level than we are,
Mm.
especially with knowing something is right or wrong in society and being healed and being experienced in different things. So I listen, I'm not saying that I won't yoke a little kid up.
Yeah, so good.
I'm just saying, uh, healed Gina would say that to you. Hood Gina would yoke the little kid
Yeah.
up. But that's all I'm saying. Sometimes we don't know what's gonna come out.
No.
But I like to at least add perspective.
Yeah. Yeah,
Listen, I
no.
know you hurt, honey, but I'm gonna have you go get your mother.
Yeah.
Okay?
Exactly. Listen, you ain't seen this side of me yet, but you're gonna have
Right.
to get somebody. Okay, because
Sometimes I've done a lot of work because I used to be like that too.
yeah,
I used to be that little girl who would get mad at everything. I
yeah.
used to be that toxic relationship that
Mhm.
my partners were like, "Whoa." I used to be that person and I look at other people and I'm like, "You're coming from a place of hurt and not knowing better."
Yeah. And that, yeah,
So,
there's definitely, I mean, the things that happen to us in our lives do, shape and affect how we continue to move throughout life. So it's like that's part of the reason why I do now a lot more of the trying to understand people because for the longest time I just couldn't understand how even just family, myself, how other people would do certain things. I'm like, well, how can you, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And I've changed a lot in that aspect of really, really not judging people in a sense of
mhm.
like, oh, they're doing this. They don't know what they're doing. And it's more of like, okay, well, why are they doing it this way? Who taught them? Is there a different thing that they're doing that actually might help? And just because they're not doing it right doesn't mean that they're doing everything wrong.
Right. So are you asking people why they do things?
I used to. I used to just be like, "What are you doing?" You know, like, and not even with any type of like, "Hey, what are you doing over here?" It's more of like, "Why are you doing it this way?" And in a negative way. But that was like that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, and I'm going to say you're going to find out a lot more about people from having that conversation with them than you are going to reading about it in a book.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And like I'm not afraid to question what people do in a sense of like out of genuine curiosity.
Hmm.
Just because I even and this is the thing about kids. I know we were just sitting here talking about kids, but I love kids. So when there is a kid that just does not stop talking or asking questions, I know that sounds bad, but I let them go. I let them do their thing because if they're sitting there asking all these questions or whatever the case is, they're trying to learn.
Yeah,
Who am I to stop?
100%.
Who am I to stop this kid from learning right now? So and some of the questions they ask are so out of pocket or just
Oh my
just
gosh.
crazy questions that
Why you
take
look
you.
like that?
Yeah,
Well,
it's like,
fuck. All right.
listen,
Well,
man.
shit.
Yeah, this is how I grew up. I don't know what to tell you. Next question. Move on, please.
Right.
You know.
And they'll be
I,
like, "But why?" Ah,
yeah,
shit. Well, I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah,
I don't know, kid. This is
yeah.
this is how it is.
So and then it goes into like I actually also love talking with like young adults and then the older generation. Just those gaps. Just asking questions, letting them just express themselves because man, it's you can even learn about yourself and other people just
Yeah.
because you're like, I used to be like that, and now I can see why I did these things. And then talking with the older, like, oh my gosh, to see it that way is amazing. And it took him 70 years. If I could just take this knowledge now, I'll be ahead of the game. So,
I do that all the time too. Like, and especially I've been doing that a lot more since I've been in Florida too,
Mm,
because a lot of people back home are still in the same mindset. Like, I have to remember that those people haven't got out and grown in any other environment.
yeah,
I've already grown like tenfold from what I did the past 3 years.
yeah,
Even just like as a person, like my mindset and stuff, just being in a different environment where you're
hmm
not comfortable,
hmm
because I'm uncomfortable. I ain't got nobody out
yeah,
here.
yeah,
All my family is like, you know, and my family isn't close in general. So I had to really kind of do a deep dive when I got here and was like, all right, well, why am I feeling like this? What are the things that are coming up for me? And I see people doing the same thing as last year on Facebook, because you're on Facebook, you can see everybody who's back home. They're doing the same thing. I mean, there was even events with the same flyer.
yeah. Oh,
Bruh.
updated year. Oh,
Come on. Come on,
what are
man.
we
You can't
doing?
even get a new flyer for
Yeah,
your event?
update the colors or something. What are we doing?
Damn.
I see.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. But that is a perfect reflection of what happens when you stay in an environment where you are just comfortable, where you don't you don't see your full potential, where things
Mhm.
aren't changing. Because now I can see this, right? And I don't know how many years they've done that with the same flyer, but I'm just realizing it, right? Because
Yeah,
now my mind is starting to really expand. I'm having new experiences, I'm meeting new people, I'm seeing different ways of life, all these things. And I'm looking back at my people from Albany and I'm like, a lot of stuff, a lot of you guys are doing exactly the same
yeah,
thing. And it's no shade. It is what it is. Everybody, and some people
yeah,
are happy doing that, and that's totally fine. But for me, being in that confined box,
yeah.
I was not okay with it.
Mm-mm.
Never okay with it. I just didn't know why.
Right. And I think that part of the reason why I wanted to get out so bad was doing the same things just constantly, getting into the same troubles constantly, or just, hey, it's Christmas time. Let's go on over here and do this. And it's like, okay, we just did that last year and the year before. So, and it's like, this is all great. And that's where I was getting back, like taking things for granted because I probably did take for granted a little bit more, like spending the holidays with all of my family together. But at the same time, I don't take for granted my curiosity of wanting to do something different, you
Absolutely.
know? And
Absolutely.
that
And I
is,
fully feel you on that
yeah,
because I feel the same exact way. I took a lot of that stuff for granted and now I'm like, I can't even if I wanted. I can't even go there if I wanted to right
yeah,
now.
literally, literally.
So
And
I feel
that's
you.
that's one of the things that is definitely different from like when I first left and been alone for the holidays versus now. Like at first I didn't take it for granted. At first I didn't miss. I mean, I missed my family, but I was like, this is great. I'm on my own. But
Right.
as the years went on, it was great because I was doing something new, but the family wasn't there. Now
Right.
I'm older, realizing that it would be nice. I would really love if the family was here, but if we can go to that cabin instead or go do this instead. And that's the mindset I try to get into a lot of people. But kind of like what you said, looking on Facebook, seeing people do the same stuff over and over in the same place. How many times can you go to what is it like to Lake George? Stop! Don't go to Lake George every year. You know what I mean? Come on,
Man,
man.
them upstaters love them some Lake
Yeah,
George.
for real, for real. I don't even
Yeah, but
remember what is it? Thatcher Park. Stop going to Thatcher, man. Get out, see something else, you know.
ain't nothing else to see.
Until
No,
you get
I'm
out the
just
state.
kidding. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. And I especially for Christmas this year, I definitely had super FOMO and super like regret for not going back. But for me, I mean, part of the reason why I left too was I hate the cold weather. And for me to want to go back and travel to the cold weather, oh, I like even just almost threw up by thinking about it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I guess if that's what I have to do, it's what I have to
Yeah.
do. But I didn't know that I was going to feel like that, but now that I know, next year I'm able to prepare for that and I'm able
Mhm.
to get everything in order, situated ahead of time.
Yeah.
I didn't know that I was going to feel this way. I thought that I was going to be okay. I thought that I was going to have a different Christmas here, which we did, and we had a great time.
Yeah.
Some friends also from New York who we met in our neighborhood also stayed, so we had
Oh,
Christmas with them.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it was definitely different, but it was still beautiful. And again, it's all perspective.
Yeah. And that's funny that you say that because that was I was looking up some like tips and tricks on like what to do during these times just to like, okay, I'm alone. What can I do? And one of those is finding other people that are in the same to a similar
Find other people
situation.
who are also alone.
Yeah. But quite literally, I was like, okay, I guess. But it was like, hey, if you have any friends that also couldn't make it home for the holidays,
Yeah.
and it's like you found friends in your neighborhood that are from New York that couldn't go home during the holidays, so you guys
Mhm.
had, a good time together. That's
That is
that's one of
hilarious.
that's one of the tricks. So
So
that's
we have
actually
to
hilarious.
reference we have to reference our Dave and Buster's video of
Yeah.
us of the stretching video where we go and meet new people. Hey, so you from here? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, you're going to family. All right, cool. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you from out of state too? You going back home for the holidays?
Yeah, are you from New York? I knew you were from New York. I knew
Oh yeah.
it.
You see that football game last night?
Yeah.
Giants? Yeah, I'm from New York. How about
Yeah.
you?
Good. I'll catch you on the skee ball later, man. Have a good one.
Oh
Oh
man, but no,
man.
it definitely is. And there's probably a lot of people who don't end up going back home anymore. And it's like, well, what do you have to create new traditions. You have to figure out new things to do. Maybe it's not Christmas that you celebrate on Christmas. Maybe it's a different time.
Yeah. And one of the biggest and it goes back to actually my thoughts of like, oh my God, are they having a good time while I'm here? But another one of the tips was you can't really judge this holiday to the last holiday to the like this Christmas to the last Christmas to the one before that because it might be the same things, but like life and everything does change as days go on. So in that aspect, I would say more of like reflect on the best holiday. Man, it is Christmas time. Yeah, I'm not home, but we did have we were all together 2 years ago, and that was just the best time. And then just having those happy thoughts. Um,
Yeah, and I think it's important that you don't compare holidays because again, every year is going to be different
mhm.
and you can always go back in time mentally to that wherever you felt good, but know that even if it's not the same, it's still beautiful in your own way.
Yeah.
And you have to make it beautiful in
Hmm.
in that and make it memorable and do
Hmm.
things. So, one of the things that I started to hate doing was like decorating for Christmas. I'm like, I'm not even in the mood and I'm not whatever. And I kind of recently found that like it's like people decorate, it has to be about you. Like it
Yeah.
has to be about like you do these things because you want to. I actually had a client, she makes some beautiful custom wreaths and
Oh.
I'm like, I don't know how to do this stuff. And I don't want to do it when I have, when I'm hosting and having people over and da, da, da. She's like, well, you have to do it for you. Like that's the point of decorating. It has to be
Mm.
something in you that wants to do it. Because if you're doing it just to entertain other people, then it's not going to get you in the spirit that you want it to.
Yeah.
If you hate decorating, don't do it. But if it's something that because and that's what happens with me. I feel like I have to for some of the holidays. I have to decorate because if I don't, I feel like the Grinch,
Yeah.
where I feel like I'm not like in the spirit. It's hard for me to get in the
Hmm.
holiday spirit.
Yeah.
But I started doing it for myself and enjoying the process of decorating rather than dreading it.
Yeah. I
And
actually I, I was never a decorator, like ever. And even the past couple years, uh, going over to my girlfriend's, her parents' house. When I tell you, both retired, by the way. So that tells you something right there. But her mother,
Her shit is decked out, isn't it?
oh my God, it is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Like it's actually outrageous to like, and it's not too much, but it's just like it. The first time I ever went over there, it was actually like Christmas last year. Christmas time. So this is
Mhm.
how I first met them with just all the Christmas decorations. And I would walk in and my ADD said it was just so overwhelming. I was looking at so much and I would just be looking around the house and then I would see like just just the ornaments over here. And then this tree had this. And then all of a sudden there was a little village off to the side. And I'm like, where'd the village come from? And your mom's like, I made it. I'm like, you made this village? Man, listen, if I can get permission to share the picture of this village, I will. And I think everybody needs to see it because it is
Oh yeah.
amazing. She did everything by hand. She's got
Wow.
train. It's like
But
it's
she probably loves doing that.
oh,
And
it's her
that
thing.
probably is something that brings her joy.
Oh my gosh, it
So
is.
I could never do that. That would
No,
bring me the opposite of joy.
yeah.
Okay.
I'd get frustrated as soon as a tree's out of line. I'm like, I can't do this. I'm not.
Right, right. But that's what I'm saying. Like finding the things that bring you joy during these times is
Yeah,
probably one of the most important things to do because you're going to see things on TikTok, you're going to see things on Pinterest. A, anything I see on Pinterest, I know 100% that it will never ever come out the way that the picture does. It doesn't matter if I have a step-by-step video, it doesn't
yeah.
matter if I have all the same material, it's just not happening.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So that is the perfect example of saying why we should not be copying other people. And our own happiness and our own things need to be developed
Yeah,
and things that we actually truly enjoy doing.
yeah.
So instead, I have been super into propagating lately. So I painted cans this year for my propagating in the
Mm,
glass jars.
okay.
That was something that brought me joy.
Yeah. You gotta do that stuff and like the decorations that is decorations and plants. She
Hmm.
oh my gosh, the amount of plants that she has is wonderful, but um that's what she enjoy every day. She'll go out there and and especially during this time, she has to wake up early. She's like, it gets dark at 4:30, 5 o'clock. I need to get up at 6 so I can get outside and make sure I have enough time to do everything.
I
Um,
love it.
yeah, and it's just wonderful. So anytime you can find something that gets you that excited, whether it's decorating, whether it's honestly even just calling and speaking to your family during these times, because that's another thing. You don't have to not talk with them. I will admit, for me, because this is something I've also been working on was literally calling family during the holidays, as crazy as that sounds. Um, because I don't like to, in the
Hmm.
sense of then those feelings just start rushing back to where it does
Yeah.
make me upset. So it's hard for me to like as soon as I hear my dad's voice, my grandma's voice, my mom's voice, then I just start and mentally I start breaking down and I'm like I just want to go home, you know. And it takes me a little bit of time to get out of that funk, so it
Hmm.
it does weigh on me.
But maybe you also need to feel your feels in this time too,
Hmm. Yeah,
because if you're feeling that and it's coming up for you from a phone call,
yeah.
that's telling your body is telling you that you need to, release those emotions
Hmm.
and have and deal with them, in that
Yeah.
way too.
Yeah.
But I
And
hear you.
as soon as I talk with them, then I get that feeling, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, it was so good to talk with them. And
Hmm.
even I dread it, but it's not dreading it because it's like I don't want to talk to them. It's just like I start to get that anxious feeling, like, man, if I hear their voice, how am I going to react? And then, but it's wonderful laughter. I sit there, I'm
Hmm.
smiling, I'm like, damn, I love them. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those. So,
Yeah.
oh
Anxiety is a beast.
yeah,
Anxiety is a beast.
it'll get you.
What's your third tip?
My third tip would be to still reach out. So it's to like still reaching out. Don't just because you're not alone doesn't mean you can't reach out. FaceTime, phone call, Everybody, you might be far away, but nowadays with the technology we have, there's so many different avenues. I mean, if you guys have Snapchat, you can video call and talk and Snapchat, and there's so many different ways to do it. You don't need just FaceTime or
Hmm.
whatever the case is. I think you could even call on Instagram now. Like, there's so many different ways to
Yeah.
do things. So, it's just one, don't judge the holiday based off of previous holidays. Two, still reach out. And three is just try new things with different people that can be in the same similar situation.
Yeah.
So
Love it.
those are those three things that I think just that stood out to me because I struggle with those. So I'm like, man, those are some good tips. Let me
Yeah.
start using them.
No, they're definitely great tips, and thank you for sharing those. As we kind of go into 2025,
Yeah.
anything that's on your mind tip-wise that we can give our viewers to take with them? Because it's literally a couple days away and I can't even believe it.
Yeah, it is a couple. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
2025.
2025 coming up. The only thing is that I would say is just, keep going every day, growing with intention. Um, th- Anything can be a lesson and to help you learn something. Uh, and just don't, how do I put this? Don't be complacent with where you're at now. Things might
Mm.
be great right now, but that doesn't mean that there's not more to learn. And as we get older, as we continue to walk through life, there's always going to be something new that's going to help better you, whether that's, even if it's something like, oh, my fish tank, I have two fish, but if I get two snails in there to help keep it cleaner, even just the smallest things, you know what I mean? Like,
I love your mind. I love how
yeah.
your mind works. I love the difference in examples that we give.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. I
That's
don't know.
that's great.
Fish popped into my head for the new year. I don't know.
Wait, what is the new year? Do you know what the new year um animal is?
That I don't.
I'll freaking die if it's a fish.
Stop. Please be a fish now.
Oh, it's a snake.
Okay. All right. I mean, okay. That's very fitting for
Yeah,
your first full year in Florida. There's some snakes down here.
yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
I literally was looking and I didn't even realize, and I was like frozen. I was like, that's a snake. I don't think I've ever seen one before. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I've seen like garden snakes, but I was like
Right.
looking. And I also have a gator right in my back pond.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Is it a
Oh,
little?
beautiful. It's a
Yeah.
little guy,
Little guy.
littler. Yeah, littler. But he's, oh my God, beautiful. I mean, obviously, like I'm not
Yeah.
like gonna go up to it, but I look at it from a distance. Like
Yeah.
I see him just enough. I pull out my phone and I like zoom in. I'm like, oh man, he's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Once he gets big enough, they should find a new home for him just because that's usually what they do. Because I mean, it's just like nature. Why would I take him? This is his home. Like, well, I'm not going to take him out
Yeah.
of his home while he's growing. Obviously, once he's big enough and can do damage. But believe it or not, gators are, yeah, you hear the stories, but they're pretty, they they just do their thing. They just do their thing.
I feel like it's with anything, and especially any wild animal. Like
Hmm.
once you start going into their territory,
Yeah.
now you're playing with fire. Same
Hmm.
thing. If somebody comes in your house, are you just going to be like, "Oh yeah, come on in."
Yeah.
Like no, it's the same thing in nature. Like and
Exactly.
that's what people don't understand. They're like, "Oh yeah, well, let me go and touch it." Are you okay if somebody comes in your house and touches you? Just
Hmm.
I just want to touch you real quick. No, same thing in nature, people.
Oh,
Like just be smart. Admire things from a distance. Don't be stupid.
exactly. Ryan came down when I first moved down here, and we did this kayaking tour. It was like 7 miles of kayaking. It was actually low key way too much. We didn't.
7
It
miles?
was a
That's
it was a long trip. To a point where at one point we were like, Ryan, we've been out here for hours. I don't know. We better get back before it gets dark, kind of thing.
And then
And,
you're like stuck out there doing.
but the thing about this place is it is a natural Florida spring, meaning there are gators,
Yeah.
and we saw we saw many gators. But it's one of those things where like I was okay with it. We were in a kayak, we were just going. We'd see gators from afar. There'd be a couple like swimming next to us to where we probably could reach out and touch. Don't advise
No,
it. Don't do it.
hell
But
no.
um the reason why I brought that up because we were just going, we were just admiring them all. And then all of a sudden, we look over and it was a decent sized gator over to the side. We're like, oh man, that's cool. This man or woman, whatever it was, opened its mouth, started hissing, and jumped in the water. We said, we scooted out of there as fast as we could. But
Oh
we also
no.
don't know why it did it. We weren't even close to it, but we weren't
Yeah.
taking any chances. We
No,
were
hell
not
no.
taking any type of chances. And let me tell you what, we prepped for a whole like mile and a half. We were just going as fast as we could, fast as we could. And then we had to stop because we were like, I'm dead. I'm dead, but we were just hoping this gator wasn't following us. And quite frankly, it still could have been. It could have
Yeah,
been. He
you
was
would
gorgeous.
never know.
Just
In the
never know.
spring, were they clear? You could see at the bottom and stuff?
Yes and no, certain parts, because a lot of the parts there was some grass to where like you couldn't
Uh,
even see in the water, and that's
nope.
exactly where we were. So we
Nope.
just got past all the grass, all the leaves, and then we got to an open area to where that more people were, for one. If there's more people, I'm okay. Um,
Yeah, you're like, all right, I can push you in. I can push.
yeah,
No.
yeah. Like, listen,
That's the mentality, though. Do you ever go to the beach and you're like, all right, I can't
yeah,
go here because there's nobody else. I gotta
exactly.
go swim near everybody else in there, so at least there's options for
Yeah.
the shark.
You go in the water and you're like, okay, that guy's out farther than me. I'm good where
Right.
I'm at.
As long as you're not the farthest one out, you're good.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's hilarious.
Oh my God.
So, real quick before we wrap up here, you
Yeah.
mentioned something on intention, making decisions intentionally.
Yeah.
And I really want to put that out there and encourage people when they are doing their New Year's resolutions and
Mhm.
planning and things like that going into the new year, that they do it very intentionally.
Yeah.
And there are tons and tons and tons of people doing vision board classes and vision board videos and things like that. I want to let everybody know that if you are doing vision boarding the correct way, it's not going to be about these pretty pictures. You're not going to get a magazine. You're going to A, want to start writing down your goals, whatever they are. And then B, go into Pinterest or you can go into somewhere where they have like free photos and find pictures that align with your goals. So if you want to get a Range Rover in 2025, find the exact model and get the picture of that Land Rover,
Mm.
Range Rover, whatever you want, and put it in your vision board. Having a Mercedes and thinking that you want a Range Rover, it's not the same thing, okay?
Right.
Your body sees what that vision board is, and in return, it aligns with your goals, and that's how it should work. That's how manifestation, that's how putting plans into action and um, getting what you want
Right.
works. Okay. So writing down your goals with intention. What do I want? When do I want it? What is the exact like color, make, model, interior, exterior, the bells and whistles, all those things. Then I want you to go and find the picture that correlates.
Mhm.
Same thing. Don't just put these random coffee cups. Don't put these random pictures because they look nice. Your house is never going to look like that. You want something that you want your house to look like. Okay. You want something that you want to, a vacation that you want to be on, somewhere that you want to actually go. Like go on Airbnb and find a picture of the Airbnb that you want to go if you want to go to Bali. Find those things because then you can actually picture yourself in them and doing them
All right.
and being in that space. And then you're going to, if you want to do it the way that I do it, which has been proven to work, you're going to go to CVS and you're going to print out all those pictures. And then you're going to grab your favorite drink, either a glass of wine, a mocktail, a soda, whatever. Then you're going to have a nice little little jam session with all your favorite music, putting all those pictures on your vision board, and then you're going to stick it somewhere where you see it every single day.
Mm.
And then you're going to make a collage of that, put it on your phone, so then you also see it on your phone.
So that you're just
That
constantly
is the
seeing it.
way that, huh?
So that you're just constantly, it's just you're constantly seeing it.
Exactly. So you're constantly seeing it. Your goals, right? Those goals that you wrote down are aligning with the vision,
Mhm.
which in turn are going to make you have a plan, put action towards it, and if you're seeing something every day, then that becomes what you're going to do.
Wow.
I mean, you have to have the action behind it. You can't just put up pictures and think it's going to work. But
Mhm.
I get so upset when people just cut out these magazine pictures of just random things.
Yeah.
You don't even want a dog.
Yeah.
Why are you cutting out a picture of a dog on
Exactly.
your vision board?
Yeah.
You know? And it's different if there's a magazine or something like that that captures like an emotion for you, but
Mm.
write that on it. Like if you want to
Mm.
be happy and you see like a picture of people being happy and that's like some an emotion that you want to capture, that's fine. Write that down.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, in order to actually make to help with the manifestation process, because manifesting it isn't just wishing and
Yeah.
dreaming, right? It's an actual, it's a process that you go through. Intentional goals with intentional pictures with an intentional process that you're now physically, I like physical dimension stuff. Don't just make a collage and put it up and never do anything. I like physical. I'm putting the pictures, I'm aligning the pictures, I'm feeling them. I'm able to be like in a vibe while I'm doing all this stuff. And and then now you have that as a physical
Mhm.
representation of what you want your life to be, in addition to all the digital things, right? Your collage on your phone, anywhere that you're sitting. If you have an iPad, put it on your desktop. All those things, you're seeing it every single day. Now you're working for a goal that you're seeing every single day. And also hang up those goals. Sometimes I'll put the goals on the bottom right hand corner too, and
Mhm.
I'll cross off any of them that I get throughout the year so that I can see that.
Do you recommend doing only like year to year type vision? Because I know some people will be like, well, my dream is to do this. And it's like, well, let's think realistically.
Mhm.
Your dream might be to have a 10-bedroom house, but will you get that this year? So like, do you recommend just staying within the lane of the year, the short amount of time, and then as time goes on, based off of where you are, then kind of continuing to adapt or even just creating a whole new vision board?
In in my opinion, I like to go big vision. And the reason why is because I like people to see beyond the bounds that they currently have around them.
Mm,
So if
yeah,
you want to get $100,000 car and that's not realistic for you right now, I still want you to put it, because what we need to just do is put the action in place.
yeah,
How much do you need to make a year in order to get that? What does your monthly payment look like?
yeah,
Like, because then once we have that, you can make a plan to do anything.
yeah,
It's just
exactly.
kind of the opposite of the ladder again. You have that
Exactly.
$100,000 or Lamborghini, right?
Mhm.
If you want that, still put it on there.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get it if you don't actually take the steps in order to do so. So if you're not, if you know that you need to make $1,000 a day
Mhm.
and you're not the one putting in the energy in order to make $1,000 a day, then that's on you.
Yeah.
But I still want people to have that big vision of everything they want to accomplish within the year.
Hmm.
Or it doesn't have to be in the year, but they still put it on their vision board because it's something that they can see themselves, or the lifestyle that they want to live.
Yeah.
If I want to live where I'm flying first class everywhere and I have a glass of champagne and I have a an avocado mask, and I bought $100 neck pillow from the airport,
Yeah.
I'm buying it. At
Yeah.
the end of the day, money is just an energy
Hmm.
exchange. So if you're not putting the energy into whatever that dream of yours is, it's not going to happen. But
Right.
if you are, you're going to get closer and closer to where you can eventually get there.
Hmm. Would what's your thoughts on like the vision board changing? Would you rather people, because my fear that people would do expect would be like they make a vision board now and then in 3 weeks they're like, well, actually, I want this now. And it's like, well, you're not, then is that what you truly wanted when you first created it?
Yeah.
Or are you giving it time to manifest, or are you changing it because it's just not happening fast enough for you? You know what I mean? So
Right.
would you rather just have a vision board and keep it, and if things change, not necessarily getting rid of the one, but just creating a whole new one? How would you go about that?
Well, that's why I think that people have to be very intentional and
Yeah.
clear with what they want. Now, things are always going to change, and
Right.
maybe it might not be the Lamborghini that you wanted, but you get a lower version or something. I don't know if there's a lower version of
Yeah.
Lamborghini,
Yeah. If
but
you
you know, it
find
might
one, let
not
me know.
be it might not necessarily be the same exact, but that is the vision that you have for yourself. And
Hmm.
I am always just a firm believer that being clear in that vision is the most important thing of this whole process. If
Yeah.
you're not clear what you want going into 2025, sit on it for a month.
Yeah.
You don't need to do it before the year starts. You can do it whenever you want. You can do it whenever you need to.
Yeah.
So if people do it in February, if they do it in March, April, whatever it is, if they're
Mhm.
not clear on those goals though, don't just do it just to do it.
Right. Yeah.
You
Okay.
have to make sure that you're knowing what you're working towards.
Hmm.
And again, it can change. And if it does change, maybe just print out a new picture
Yeah.
and tack it on and say, you know what? I want this car or I want this instead. I mean, don't do that with everything, but if it's like you're hard sold on like, all right, no, I really want this now, or I didn't even remember, I didn't even think of this. You can always add to the vision board.
Right.
You can always put a picture over one or
Hmm.
change flip out a picture if there's something that you end up finding that you want now.
Right.
But again, the point of it is to go in with clarity and to go in with intention of here is what I want. And you might not get everything on the vision board that year,
Right.
but your lifestyle, your life is going to change to reflect a lot of the emotions, a lot of the energy, a lot of the friendships, everything that is on that vision board. And that's the real point.
Ah, wow. That was great. That was great because and it's funny because I made a vision board a long time ago, and
Mhm.
I I did make it with intention. Everything that I put on there, except for like one, there was one picture I put on there and I had no idea where it was, and I just was like, I put this on here because I wanted to travel.
Like I want to go somewhere.
Yeah, but where I don't know where this. It looks nice. I would go here, but what if this is just St. Pete and I don't even know it? You know what I mean? Like I've been there. I don't want to go there. So like
Yep.
being more intentional, and then your idea of like actually printing out the pictures and placing them with intent of on, because all I did was just digitally took pictures off of Canva or the internet and just
Yep.
post them on there and printed it out. And it's like that was such an easy thing to do instead of really thinking about, okay, oh wow, this is West, this is Italy. This is I definitely want to put this here because I want this to be a main focus. Oh, this is a dog. Let me put this down here because I love animals, but this isn't a necessity right now as opposed to this career that I want or
Right.
whatever the case is. So
And that's the thing too. If you want to go to Italy, find the Airbnb that you want to stay
yeah,
at. Like
yeah,
look inside, be inside of the
yeah.
Airbnb.
Be there.
Like like literally just take it in. Like you can see, you can go on maps and like pretty much look at the street view from
Yeah,
everything. So you can like literally envision yourself there.
right.
And that's why, Justin, I know that you're big into psychology, but when you talk about sports,
Yeah,
right? These professional teams have sports psychologists that literally help them with visualization.
yeah.
They make their
Yes,
free
yeah.
throws, visualizing them making a three-point shot, making a buzzer beater.
Hmm.
There is something to be said about the psychology of you seeing yourself doing something and being literally like able to envision yourself there.
Yeah,
So what better way than to have the Airbnb that you're going to stay in or the hotel that you want to stay in or the
yeah,
places that you want to go visit
yep,
on your board already.
exactly.
And then how cool would it be next year to put those pictures up and then put pictures of you visiting those places.
Hmm. That,
Like that is those are full circle moments. Those are the things that we are trying to do with manifestation.
yeah.
And it has such a bad, I hate the word manifestation because it's become so like overused.
Hmm.
You can't just manifest things. Like you can't just like just say it and it's going to happen. We don't have like we have magic, but not that kind of
Yeah.
magic.
Yeah.
So you have to put action into the things, and the way that you do it is with intention, is with clarity, is with a plan, and is with the vision. So putting all those pieces together, that's why I am such a firm believer in my process of vision boarding and you know the way that I've been doing it for years.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I would actually, just for everybody out there, I would encourage. I'm actually curious to see what a vision board would look like for everybody else. Um, just to see. I know we've kind of like the letter that we all wrote, Hopefully, I do want to hear if anybody's willing to share. I would love to hear that. When do we say we do that in June? We'll do the
I think
six
it was
month,
May.
May, June, like right at the yeah, because December, January, February, March, April, May, right in May, at the end of
Hmm.
May, to read those letters. I would love even not to show, but even to hear some of your goals, visions, aspirations for for 2025 because that I just love to hear what other people want to do. Um,
Yeah, absolutely.
so go
And
ahead.
it's really cool to see that time lapse, like when the day that you wrote this down and the day that you actually accomplish it, you read it, or you know, throughout that span of time you've done it or gotten closer to that goal.
Yeah,
There's nothing like it.
there's
And and with how busy we are and everything that we do, we need to be able to reflect. So these are ways that you're able to just see what you've accomplished throughout the year and really like know that you did not stay still. Nothing stayed still.
exactly. So with that being said, with the last episode of 2024, hope you guys had wonderful holiday. Hope everybody has a wonderful new year. And for everybody out there that would love to share, please go ahead and email us at the life well lived podcast at gmail.com. Follow us, like, share, subscribe everywhere on all social media at the Life Well Lived podcast. On Facebook, Instagram. We would love to hear from you guys and see what you guys got going on for the 2025 year.
Absolutely. As always, it's a pleasure being here with you all and happy holidays.
Happy holidays. See you guys.